Hi, this is Tony, and this video is using STEMScopes for interventions for high school science teachers. STEMScopes for high school science includes biology, chemistry, and physics. We're going to look at a chemistry scope, so we're going to go to grades and scroll down to chemistry, streamlined. And we're going to look at chemistry 5A and B, the periodic table. So imagine you've given a text check and you have some students who have not yet mastered some of the concepts as evidenced by the results of your text check. We're going to look at a few of these tabs to see what resources are here that you might use so that those students can close the gaps that you identified from your district assessment. Let's look under the explain. We have some picture vocabulary. Recall that this is 5A and B periodic table. If I click on picture vocabulary, I have vocabulary words along with, in this case, pictures of the periodic table to tell you where those groups, families, or characteristics from the periodic table are located. You can print these out over here on the right-hand side to give to your students. You can assign this to students in STEMScopes. You could download it as a slideshow and assign it in Canvas or Google Classroom. Continuing to explore under Explain, we also have STEMscopedia. You can think of this as your textbook. Here's some a reading passage about the periodic table, along with some questions that you can choose to assign or not assign. Also, there is connecting with your child if they wanted to do some work at home to share what they learned with their families. Oftentimes, when we are intervening and requiring students to complete additional learning so that we can close gaps, we have a hard time finding assessments to see if those gaps have indeed been closed. Here's a progress monitoring assessment. It's a multiple choice assessment that you can give without having to create your own to see if students have mastered the standard 5A and B for periodic table and chemistry. Here's another good idea, content connection videos for your students who are a little bit more visual and need to hear that vocabulary used in context, hear from somebody else other than their teacher or from a textbook. Here's another resource for you. Let's move on to evaluate. Under evaluate, there are 5 different assessments. So everything from a claim evidence reasoning to an open-ended response to a traditional multiple choice post-assessment, lots of assessments that could be used here. Under intervention, we have a closed passage. We click on that, we can see it's a fill in the blank, just another opportunity to assess students. I want to go back to the elaborate piece and see that we have another reading passage here. And we have an engineering connection. We have a concept review game. Let's look at that concept review game. It looks at key terms and concepts, generally in a matching or game-like format, just another opportunity for students to interact with that content to lead them to mastery. All the scopes for biology, chemistry, and physics are set up the same way. You'll find similar activities for all 3 content areas. If you happen to be a biology teacher, let me show you back on scopes. There is a retext portion. So we're going to go to topics. We're going to go to grades, and we're going to scroll down to Texas retext for biology. For each one of these clusters of content, let's look at biomolecules. There are some teacher resources that you can print out and use to create stations and or additional learning opportunities to review those major concepts before your students take the EOC. So we can see under each item there, under engage, there's a picture. And it shows some biomolecules and each biomolecule to review the structure of those biomolecules. Under the Explore and Explain, there's a concept exploration. Under the Evaluate, there's an additional assessment so that you can make sure kids have it down before the STAR test. I hope you found some useful things here in STEMscopes to review for STAR and or to intervene when you find gaps in your students' mastery. Thanks for listening. Bye.